Hello and welcome to PNG Technologies. We are a supplier of propane and natural gas custom kits for generators. Today we're going to be showing you the Honda, the FI. This is the fuel injection model. It's the EU7000is. We're going to show you the steps for the propane and then also the natural gas, how to set a custom kit up for it to run on an alternative fuel, and we'll get started on that. Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and access the inside panel. We're going to install the slim adapter between the carburetor and the intake. So go ahead. Some of these things it's kind of tight in here to see. I'll do the best I can, but the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and pull the hose off the top of the air cleaner. Just kind of tuck it back to the side. Now this is the switch to keep the fuel injection running. So when you're doing gasoline or natural gas, on the top of this, you'll just want to press down and pull that out, okay? You're going to leave that to the side when you're running your alternative fuel. When you go back to gasoline, just connect that back up and you're good to go. So these clips here, there's 4 clips, 2 in the back. Go ahead and pop them off. Sometimes they fall back in the back. Okay, got that one. Got that. And just go ahead and pop these 2. And we'll get access to the carburetor. Now this here, we're going to remove the 2 bolts holding the plastic air cleaner on the carburetor. So they're number 10s. So I'll go ahead and pull those out. Like I said, my hands are going to be in the way a little bit here. All we're doing is just taking the 2 bolts off, or 2 nuts off, sorry. And then back behind here, this is the air cleaner inside this. So there's a boot in the back of this that is a Phillips screwdriver. What you're going to do is there's 2 boots. Just do the top clamp. Loosen that clamp up. Okay. And then you should be able to grab this and pull it right out. See, that's that boot I was telling you about. It goes back in there. So what we got to do is, because when we're installing our adapter on here, obviously we're pulling this away. So these studs that are on here, okay, what you're going to do is there's a metal plate. This you'll remove. You won't reuse this at all. We're going to supply you with another gasket. Being stubborn. There we go. You're just removing this here. It's like a rubber gasket that they use. And then what we're going to do is, when you go, make sure this is pushed up. You don't want to gnarl the ends of the threads up, because obviously you're going to reuse that portion. But get you some vice grips, lock down on them tight, and then instead of just trying to turn it, you got to do a quick little pop with it and they'll snap loose. And then what you'll do is you're just going to bring them out to give you enough clearance to be able to put the nuts back on. So once you back those out, go ahead and install our new gasket, okay, the adapter. We'll give you another gasket, so you'll get 2 of them. Okay, go ahead and slide that on, and we're going to go ahead and put this back on. And you kind of got to press the boot back in first to just get her lined up. Once you do that, you should be able to push that right on. I'm going to go ahead and get your nuts back started. Okay, we got one more here. little stubborn on me. Push that back in. There's like a little insert in these. Sometimes the metal get hung up on there. That did it. Nope, not quite yet. Take this front one off. I'll do the back one first. Press that back on there again. There we go. Get the back one on. Back one's being a little stubborn, so what we're going to do is pull this back off. Okay, see how that little insert come out of the air cleaner? So that was being a little stubborn. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back off a little, and I'm going to back this stud out in the back a little bit more, just to give me a little bit more clearance. So you can kind of see you got to play with it back and forth just to, and you just need to be able to get a couple threads with the nut back on there. Okay, let's see if that did it. Go ahead and put the gasket back on. Our adapter. And make sure when you put the adapter on, you line it up with the face of the carburetor. The tube's going to be sticking towards you a little bit on the front. Put this gasket back on. And hopefully we can get this to go right back in there this time again. Clearance, and that spacer pressed out again. So you just got to kind of push it in there with the screwdriver. I know you can't see this, but I'm just pressing that insert back in there. That was being a bugger back there. Alright, finally got it. Go ahead and get this one in. Just got to take your time with it. Once you get rolling on it, it's pretty easy, you know. Go ahead and hook your boot back up. You get your cover back in there. Pop your back clips on. The back one there is a little stubborn, but you can get it. Okay. Put the fruits on. And that portion of it is done. And remember, you leave this disconnected when you're running your alternative fuel. When you're going back to gasoline, then you just hook this back up, shut your alternative fuel off, and we're good to go. All right, we'll go ahead and show you the next steps. Okay, now what we got to do, because we're going to install our fuel hose off the adapter, and instead of drilling a hole through the door or mounting anything there, I chose what we're going to do is mount a nice clean bulkhead right here, okay? So this will be the only drilling that you have to do on it. And then what we're going to do is, it's easier for you to install this fitting on the one side first, so when you come back in here, you can slide it through and tighten it up. And what we're going to do is, we're going to come down from the top of the panel around 3 1/16 of an inch, okay? And all you're going to do is just kind of center this portion and make sure that you got your clearance back here. So I got a step drill bit, which makes it really nice. If you don't have one, you can use a hole saw, and then just match this hole right here, and then you're good to go. So I kind of just put some paper towel in here to catch any shavings. That way I got it. Okay. plenty. Just double check it. Oh, just a little bit more. The next step. That should do it. Alright, there we go. Now we're just going to slide it back here and face that fitting down. Okay, so we'll just hold that and we'll get our lock washer and nut on here. That way it's a nice little clean little setup. And then just hold that fitting in the back there straight down. Okay. And you might sometimes just spin on you. You'll just have to get a wrench. That's pretty good right there. That's nice and tight. Okay, we'll go ahead and show you the next step. Okay, we've got our bulkhead installed here. Now we will install a fitting on this outside. We'll do that when we install the regulator. Right now what we're going to do is just, this is a Tygon fuel line. I chose this one in here because it's more flexible. It doesn't kink on you. Just kind of slide this up. You're going to, the back one is the toughest one to get started. Go ahead and get our hose clamp position for it. Okay, and then what we're going to do is just slide this between the bracket and the hole back here. You're not going to be able to see me do this part, but all I'm doing is sliding this hose up on that fitting, okay? Like I said, I know you're not going to be able to see me, but alright, got that on. I just got to bring the clamp up. There we go. A little bit further up with the clamp. This is the tougher one. That's the easy one there. Alright, got it. Go ahead and tighten that down. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and get the clamp ready for this side. Just go ahead and slide that up. And be careful, you don't want to, it's very easy setup here, so go ahead and just kind of twist your hose around, make sure you got no kinks in here, you know. Go ahead and tighten this down. And that pretty much concludes the inside steps. I mean, it's not that bad. This has probably been the easier one that I've did in a while. And it's a very, very nice generator, this thing is. So, okay. All looks good there. That's the installation on the inside. So it's very, very clean. You know, so we'll go ahead and show you how to mount the regulator on the next steps. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and mount the regulator. Now what we did is we custom made this bracket here to mount to the regulator. All this will be assembled for you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to utilize this bolt here and this one here, and we'll give you new bolts for it. So just pull the bottom one out here. I mean, you can use your guns too if you want for this. I just use this. Most people got this stuff, so. Okay, we'll go ahead and remove that bolt. And then we're going to take the bottom one off. Okay. Got that. And then we'll supply you with two new ones. So on this bottom one, put your flat washer on, and then you're going to put two washers behind the back one for the bottom one. And that's because of this space here. It keeps the bracket, looks a little bit cleaner. So just go ahead, mount that up there. Okay. And then we'll do the top one. And this gives it a really nice, clean setup. I mean, it's a really sharp bracket too. Heavy duty. Okay, we'll go ahead and tighten those down. Might have to get a depot for that. Go ahead and get this one done. And then we'll get that one set up. The top one locked in. All right, there's that. And then we'll go ahead and show you the next steps on it. All right, now what we're going to do, we've got this installed. Like I said, that'll turn a little bit in the back, but if you crank this down pretty good, you can get that to turn pretty good for you, so it's not too bad. Just make sure you don't kink the hoses or anything like that. So we'll go ahead and install our last little step on this. Okay. And then we'll be able to start it up on propane, and then I'll show you the natural gas side. They're both basically the same, okay? The big difference is obviously with propane you get the high pressure regulator, and then with propane it's 6 ounces of pressure, okay? So if you got 4 ounces at your meter, it's not a tri-fuel kit. You would have to purchase another separate regulator to match your meter and just interchange this out. You don't got to buy the bracket or anything, just repurchase one of these and you got it. But look how nice of an installation and clean that is. I mean, that thing is solid on there too. That thing is going nowhere. So we'll go ahead and run this thing and we'll show you the next steps on it. Okay, now we'll go ahead and hook up our propane. And if you get the propane kit, it'll come with the standard 6 foot of hose. You can order more if you want. And also it'll come, you can order this kit with quick connects too. Some people like them, some people don't, so I offer it either way or the other. So we're going to go ahead and connect this up. Okay, and we'll get it connected into the tank. Now when you turn the tank on, you're supposed to turn them on real slow so it doesn't get any a vapor lock in it or air lock. So we'll go ahead and make sure your ball valve's off, okay? Turn your tank on. Go ahead and set it to the side. Now the main adjustment on this is going to be your power elbow here. Now we'll set this as close as we can. Every situation is different. So on the back of this unit there's a primer button. It's a manual primer button. Just hold that 1-2 seconds. That'll shoot the fuel into this line and get it up into the carburetor for you. So let's go ahead and turn our fuel on. Switch our key on. Hit the primer button in the back. Hit the start. Took right off on there. So just adjust this until she smooths out. See how it stumbles? Bring it out all over it. Smooth. That's a nice, that is quiet and runs great. We can go ahead and lock that down. You're good to go. Now if you put a load on it, you might have to readjust this a little bit, but that's the setup on it. We'll go ahead and show you the next step. Okay, that was a very easy installation. This is probably one of the easiest ones I've did in a while. So again, I kind of want to explain to you, this is the Honda, the FI, the fuel injection series. It's the EU7000is. This kit is designed for this unit only, so it's custom. You see how easy it is. Now this is the propane setup. Now if you go natural gas and you buy our natural gas hose with it, then we'll install the male quick connect there, and then that way you can install the quick connect right on it for the natural gas. Again, make sure you know your meter pressure. That way you get the correct regulator set up. I want to thank you very, very much for watching this video. I hope it helped. We're trying to get more of these in here to get them done for you, to make things easier, especially custom, so you're not sitting there fabricating a bunch of stuff. So if you're interested in purchasing these kits from us, you can go to our website at PNG Technologies.com, or we could be reached at 734-992-2648. And if you enjoyed the video and it helped, please hit the like button below. Have a wonderful day.